In this series, I will focus on modern C++, which refers to a form of C++ programming which emerged out after the introduction of a new C++ standard called C++11 in 2011, and this form of programming is still continuing to evolve. Specifically, in this and the next recordings, I will talk about move assignment operation or operator, which is basically a member function of a class to get called when one existing object is assigned to another existing object. I have this code to begin with. Let me explain it first, then I will go ahead and talk about copy assignment operation, and then I will talk about move assignment operation in the next recording, because some time is needed for me to explain copy assignment operation first, and move assignment is kind of follow up explanation of copy assignment operation. So we have a student class here which has attributes marks, pointer, and number of marks. The pointer is to point to a dynamic memory space which will hold the marks values, and number of marks will actually carry the size of that array, number of elements in that array. We have a custom constructor to receive a marks array and the size. We do the validation of the received data. If it is valid, we copy that data into the attributes. Marks are stored in dynamic memory space, and if not valid, they are set to, the attributes are set to a default state. We have copy constructor and copy assignment operator. I will come back and talk about this in a moment. We have insertion operator to display the marks values in a row. If the number of marks is not positive or equals to 0, then it will display this text, and it will receive OSTream object like cout object. It will use that object and it will return that object, and this function is a query function. We have a helper function, helper operator, which receives cout object type, cout type objects, OSTream object, and it receives a student object, and through that student object it actually invokes this function to display the data. In the main function, we have 3 marks arrays carrying 4 marks values, and second array contains 2 marks values, and third array has 3 marks values. And we have the statements to create objects called st1, st2, st3. In the first object, it is created by passing the marks1 values with 4 number of elements in these values in the array. st2 object is created by passing this second array with 2 number of values in it. Third object st3 is created by passing third array with 6 number of values, and this is the cout statement to display the object. That means insert st1 object, st2 object, and st3 object on the output stream. We have this copy assignment operator. What this copy assignment operator will do is it will automatically it will assume that st3 is a current object and st1 is a parameter object, and it will automatically call this function where this st will serve as a reference to the right hand side object. In this case it is st1, and this pointer, this will be pointer to the current object, which is st3 in this case. And if these two objects are not same, then it will delete the memory. It will set the attributes to the default state, and we have a validation. After validation, we have something called shallow copying of the number of marks, and the creation of dynamic memory space, and deep copying of the marks values. And this is the return of the current object. So because of this operator, this function, we are able to assign, copy assign existing student object to another student object. So let us see the data, this object data before copy assigning and after copy assigning. in the terminal, compile and link, execute. In the first case, before copy assignment, at this point copy assignment happened. Before copy assignment, st1 contained this 4 max values, st2 contained 2 max values, and st3 contained 6 max values. Once copy assigned, s1 is assigned to s3. In that case, the dynamic memory that belonged to st3 that was holding this max values was actually deleted, and the attributes were set to the default state, and incoming source object, which is this object's data, was validated, and then the data was copied, the number of max was copied, and these max values were copied in a new dynamically allocated memory space. Now let me get back to the code. So this copy assignment operation, how it actually works, to explain this I will take you to in this place. So I will explain copy assignment in this particular context, in the context of the code I actually explained. When this instruction to create st1 object is invoked, is executed, then a custom constructor is called. At that point, immediately what happens is the memory space for max attribute and number of max attribute is actually created in the static memory space, and the max is to hold address of a memory, and number of max will get it will have 4 bytes to hold integer type data, and since this incoming or parameter data was valid in this case, so it was dynamic memory space was allocated, and this number of max, the size, the data of the size parameter was copied to number of max, and this memory space contained value 4, and in the dynamic memory space the content of this max1 array is actually copied: 51.11, 66.11, 71.11, 76.11, and the max is actually pointing to that dynamic memory space. So entire this memory is actually, this belongs to st1 object, and when st3 object creation statement is actually executed, at that time it receives max3 array, which contains 6 values, max values. st3 will get memory space like before, like in the case of st1 for max attribute and number of max attribute, and the size value is copied to number of max attribute 6. Dynamic memory is allocated to hold 6 max values, and this max pointer is actually pointing to this dynamic memory space, and the data or elements of max3 array is are copied one by one in a loop, in a iteration, in a for loop. Now when we have this copy assignment statement invoked, st3 equals to st1, what happens is if st3 and st1 are not the same, as I told you before, this in that function actually refers to this, this is a pointer to st3 object, current object, and st is a reference to st1. So if they are, the address of st and this are not same, in that case we this delete max statement is invoked, which actually deleted the memory, dynamic memory associated with st3. Then we have a statement to set the st3 object into default state, the attributes of st3 object to default state. So max of the st3 object are set is set to null ptr, and number of max is set 0 value. Next, the validation of the source data, that means s1 object's data is takes place. Obviously this expression is going to be true because the data is valid. Therefore, the shallow copying of the number of marks from the source object st happens. Therefore, this 4 is copied from the st1 object number of marks attribute to st3 object number of num marks attribute. Now, then again, dynamic memory space is allocated for st3. Just if you see, the size of memory space is same as the size of dynamic memory space of st1 object. It has the capacity to hold 4 max values. It's double precision full floating point type data. Then deep copying takes place. The elements are copied, the values are copied from one by one from st1 object to st3 object. 51.11 is copied in its place, 61.11 is copied, 71.11 is copied, and 76.11 is copied. In this case, we see this static memory space as a shallow memory space, and we see dynamic memory space at the depth level. Since the data is being copied from one depth level memory space to another depth level memory space, that's why we call this process as a deep copying. Now, st1 and st3 objects are equal in the sense that they contain equal data, but they are not the same object. They are different. st1 has its own memory space for marks and number of marks, and it has own dynamic memory space. st3 has its own memory space for marks, number of marks, and it has own dynamic memory space. So this is all I have to talk about this topic, this copy assignment. In the next recording, I will talk about move assignment operator, which will be based on whatever I discussed in this video. So thank you for watching this video.